Two instances where I either willed something to happen directly or had just a couple seconds premonition to completely unbelievable events. These really happened exactly as I'm about to explain them, no exaggeration. They're kind along, and I suck at greentext, so shut the fuck up and read. Be me, 15, fall of 2001. Living with aunt because I hated my mom. Aunt has strict rules on curfew because I was also in-house babysitter for her. Curfew is 8 p.m, so I can watch cousin while she gets ready for work at 9:30. This night, it was already past 9 by the time I left my friends, and it was well over 5 miles from home. Decide I will come up with some weird excuse and just take the yelling and grounded bullshit. Gotta come up with an excuse. Walking in front of me, in the dark about 25 meters ahead of me in the middle of the street, were two guys that seemed a little bit older than me, maybe 17. I could hear them talking, not clear enough to understand them, but they were clearly having an involved conversation. Maybe 10 meters in front of them was a lone woman also walking in the middle of the street. I was on the sidewalk, who was also having a fully involved conversation. Just not with anyone else. Remember, this was 2001, I didn't even know anyone who owned a cell phone, adult or my age group. Semi-retarded idea comes to mind. I'll tell aunt that the people in front of me on the road got into a fight and it held me up. It's a bullshit story that I don't really need these people to tell, but hey, they're here, they're my inspiration. Start imagining that the crazy lady turns around and loses it. Visualize this whole incident in my head, pretty benign, but I needed something to tell my aunt. FFW to 2011. Second deployment to Afghanistan. Fighting has been pretty intense this deployment, definitely worse than last time I was here in 2008. Was even sent to the same AO I was in first time, which was oddly comforting. Got to upgrade my living arrangement from previous tour. Didn't recognize any locals. Base has been upgraded since Pickerel was added to Google Earth. September of 2011. Whole deployment, tons of small arms fighting and fire, but never any kind of indirect. No mortars, rockets, RPGs, anything like that. Stark contrast to last time, where we were mortared or rocketed every 2 days, conservative estimate during fighting seasons. Taliban don't fight during the winter months, and generally a lot less during the summer. Spring and fall are considered the fighting seasons, fall especially kicking off with Ramadan, the holy Muslim kill people Christmas month. All this time, we are expecting it, intel coming of the Talis bringing in outside rocket specialists. Especially expecting it in the summer, as indirect would be a lot easier for them than actually picking a fight. Feeling pretty blueballed, trying not to get complacent, but deployment is over in January, so woohoo. One day my platoon has an off day, where no one has any patrols, QRF4. Guard shifts, this is very rare. Doesn't mean you're off, chump. There's shit that needs doing. Like this fucking truckload of water this convoy just showed up with, you guys get to unload it. I'm hanging out in the MWR when the call comes down that everyone not gainfully employed needs to come help. Well shit boys, do I have a story for you. This was in early 2017 when I was experiencing an insane amount on synchronicities that I associated with Keck meme magic. Be me, heading back to my apartment one night around 8 p.m. Notice a dude hanging out in front of the building. When he sees me, he looks kind of spooked and approaches me and asks for a cigarette. I'm not smoking, so it's an odd question. We start talking. Dude is kind of shady looking and clearly tweaking a bit. Normally I would get the fuck out of a situation like that, but I have this feeling that I need to talk to him. Conversation becomes absolutely wild. We are talking about the most random esoteric shit that you would never talk to a random stranger about. He tells me to not look into numerology too much because it is dangerous. I freak out inside because unbeknownst to him, I've been following Keck numbers like a possessed person for the past 6 months on poll and in every other era of my life, thanks Trump. He tells me he thinks he used to be an angel but is now being punished for something. He also tells me that he does meth and thanks me for talking to him and being so nice. He says he really needed someone to talk to because his girlfriend died. Ask him about his girlfriend. He says she was murdered a few months back. WTF.JPEG. He proceeds to tell me he believes there is a satanic cult in the area and that she was burned alive in the woods. Panic.exe. I want to leave at this point, but I feel like I physically can't. It's like all my energy is being drained and I am frozen in place and I'm being forced to keep talking to him. 2 hours now that we've been talking. Finally my cranky old neighbor comes out onto his deck maybe 8 feet away from where we are, and yells at us about the noise. Use it as an excuse to leave. Meth head thanks me for talking to him and asks me for a hug. I feel extremely uneasy, but go along with it anyways, relieved that this encounter will be over soon. I'm not going to hold up the story over this memory anymore. It's like a white-hot point of light blocking out everything. It is incredibly difficult to be in the presence of this portion of memory, and it hurts even looking around it. Here's what you get. Be me 2015. Be crushed between my giant lover and a chair. Know her, but don't believe in her. Finally ask her to get off me. Mina stands and she has the look she gets when she thinks up a new game. This look is what made me believe the Nyanon had a copy of my tulpa. It's patent. The way her eyes sparkle, the brightness of her grin. Of course, Han. I'll always grant your wishes, even the really big, really stupid ones. Something like that, the gist is the same. She probably called it doing what you want instead of wishes. After this, things are very hazy. I'm going to fill in what I believe happened. Neither of us are good at short goodbyes. We likely talked for a while afterwards, and I must have asked to be dazzled as the angel would say. The censored version is probably just enough of a glimpse of her showing off that it won't kill me. I don't think she would have left it otherwise, and I did mention that she loves the ooh and ah. Maybe I only ever got the censored version, but I'd bet I made a retarded wish immediately. Either way, she showed me that the safety was off regarding human scale wishes. She gave me a grace period, to be sure. I think it's only been active since I remembered. I remember talking to myself in the shower, checking out my bruises. It's a one-sided conversation. I have this moment of false epiphany. That it's odd to talk to yourself in the shower. I decide not to do it anymore. Life goes on. Mina and I are avoiding each other. Don't want to see the signs, don't want to ask. I check in with her when Blade Runner 2049 trailer comes out. Check in again for Cyberpunk, and when my friend mentions her. She's okay. We're caught up to December 2021. Be me. See America's largest cave. Wonder if it's Arp's mother's vagina. Stroll in. Beautiful Redeed appears. Seems happy to see me. Asks if I can help her find her cat. Agree. Fucking cat is hanging around outside the cave. It spots me. It runs at me. Fucking thing knocks me over. Drags me outside. Closes cave door. Wilma. Not a shitpist, I promise. Be me, about 7 years old. Easter morning 2005. Hear this thumping and hopping downstairs. Getting closer to my room upstairs. Stops. Goes back downstairs. Hear it again for a while and suddenly it stops entirely. Hear front door open and close. Look out my window to see what it was. A fucking rabbit. To this day nobody thinks I'm serious, that I did in fact see the Easter bunny. Either a deformed cephalopod or a deformed stingray. I just feel sorry for the poor bastard. Imagine, be me. Young underwater retard, enjoying my short blobby life. Some fucker plucks you out of the water cause you look funny. It's an omen of an incoming alien invasion. Time to go tell a tabloid newspaper, fucking die. Get posted on X. Inevitably get reposted again in 7 years' time as the story pops up on someone's Facebook memories. Second wave of is so scary, TFW just wanted to live. Be me. Having a really rough year. Having a drink at some place. Gypsy woman comes and asks us for money. Say no. She tells me something about giving me bad vibes or whatever. Next day I have an amazing day and good things happen to me. A couple weeks later I see her again. The same thing happens and next day I have a really good day. Does a double negative equal a positive? This happened to me in a state of sleep paralysis a few weeks ago. Be me. Dreaming. In my dream suddenly 2 eyes appear. I focus on the eyes. Suddenly I'm in my bed, unable to move. The 2 reddish green eyes I saw, attached to a pitch black body, standing at the foot end of my bed. Hearing an extremely deep and distorted voice, think of Batman, saying, "You will belong to us." Here's my story. Be me like around 12-ish. Always have a weird feeling in my room when I'm alone. Go to sleep one night. Wake up unable to move. Oh fuck. JPG. See a tall woman holding something at my foot and wakes up next morning. Never happens again but still feel weird in my room.